Hi everyone, this is module number 244 for the subject of SHRM. And in this module, we will talk about resistance to change. Why employees or people in general resist to any type of change or any kind of change. Well, there is a very large and a huge literature that has considered and offered some kind of insights about why people resist change. It is not possible because of the time constraints and because of the nature of the subject to cover all those things which can be considered as or which are published in the area for resistance to change. We will briefly try to understand why people resist change, what HR can do as a parent department, as a guardian of the organization, what HR can do. So 95%, 91% of HR respondents in Crail's survey said that dealing with employees' resistance to change was a significant problem for them. So you can imagine that 95% HR professionals, they have recognized that the most significant problem for the HR was to deal with the employees' resistance to change or this attitude to change. So in this way, resistance is perceived in a negative light as employees not cooperating. So this is another perspective, and it is very important perspective, fairly speaking. If the HR professionals, they see that employees are resisting to change, and this is the negative thinking or negative attitude of HR professionals towards their employees, because for a number of reasons we will discuss now. So dismissing employees' objections to change is a manifestation of attribution error, because you are it's a kind of cynicism, or it's a kind of attribution that you are forcing this perspective, or you are forcing this your opinion that employees are resisting because it is their attitude, or because generally people resist to change, or because everybody resists to change. So that's why employees in this organization are also resisting to change, because they don't want to change. This is an attribution. Attribution is you are forcefully attributing something or relating something with something which otherwise may not be, or in reality may not be. So what is the lesson, or what is understanding here? That employees do not always resist for its own sake. I may not be resisting in the organization if something is introduced, or something an organization wants me to do just for my own sake. Employees also resist for the sake of organization benefit. Employees also resist sometimes they see no benefit in it for the stakeholders, or they may see that the change program will disturb the organization rather than benefiting the organization. So their concerns may be very genuine, and it is important to listen those concerns. Employees may see that there are lack of resources to implement that change. Okay, I'm ready to change, or I'm ready to adapt or embrace change, but the resources needed, you are not talking about that. Can you please talk about that? So we say that expressing negative attitude has its own consequences. Because employees who are expressing a negative attitude towards the change, definitely it has the consequences. Why they would show a negative consequence? Why they would show a negative attitude? So they may resist for ethical reasons, or believe that change is not good for the organization. So there might be some ethical concerns. For example, because in my personal experience, I have seen that many teachers in the academic institutions, in private sector and public sector, they may see that the quality of teaching is not up to the standard because of a lot of new systems or new practices adopted in the recent past. So they may think that, okay, this is something. For example, an organization may think that increasing the number of students in their class does not affect anything but reduce the cost, and it is good for the organization. While employees may see that increasing the number of students in the class can jeopardize the quality of education or the quality of learning. So they may see it is unethical, or they may see it is a morally wrong thing to do. So equally, there may be a fear of the unknown, a lack of perceived control, or fear of a perceived threat. Um, uh, on the basis of this ground, we cannot ignore that always employees are very positive. Yes, employees may have a fear of perceived risk in the new method or new systems. That can be equally possible. But the message is, the learning is that when you are bringing or planning a change in the organization, please, it is important to consider that avoid attribution theory and thinking that always employees actually resist for change. This is their attitude. It may not be. Thanks.